Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So,
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most, late fees, Shea Baby.
And I'm Stacy, not always kind, but always rewinds. And you're listening to
Blockbuster Wives.
Welcome back. Another week, another pod.
Another day, another $5. Thanks, Cody.
Hell yeah.
Our is it called a Patreon like subscriber? What is it called?
I think they just call them patrons.
Okay. Our one patron so far. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I know I just offered you a Hot Pocket, and I'm on the edge of my seat for your review because I haven't had a Hot Pocket in a hot minute.
I actually ate two of them. They are the pepperoni flav, and they are so fire. It's unreal. Something I love about Stacy very much is she understands me to a degree where she knew that I was going to want a second one. As I was eating the first one, I'm like, I'm fine. She's like, I feel like you're going to want a second one. And I was like, I'm good. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm in the middle of a conversation, like unwrapping the second package.
Well, you told me you didn't have dinner, and I'm like, one Hot Pocket is not enough to replace dinner. Two might not even be enough, TBH.
Two is great, but I know I'll probably have to chug like a shit ton of water when I get home in order to like, you know what I mean? Because I also don't like eating. Yeah. I don't like eating too heavy right before bed. I have made that mistake many times in the past, and I'm always like completely fucked when I get up. So,
oh, why? Just because it didn't digest?
Yeah, like I just hear my stomach being like, blah, 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 and I'm like, okay,
having a little rave while you're sleeping.
Yeah, don't. Maybe that's not the best idea. So, trying to keep it snazzy, and it perfectly will fuel me for this podcast and also, you know, the rest of the shit that I have to do this evening before going to bed. Bye.
Okay, yeah, I got crazy heartburn yesterday for the first time in a really long time.
I hate that feeling. It's
At least I
worst.
think it was heartburn. Is it heartburn when you're laying in bed and you wake up and you feel like a weird burning pit like in the very center of your body?
You know, I think there's different types of heartburn, because the heartburn that I get is the one that's in your throat. You can feel like something rising up in your, like, it's not throw up. It's like something rising up in your throat, like a heat sensation. That's what they call it. Heartburn.
Okay, then it wasn't heartburn. I don't know what it was.
There's multiple types, though. I think so.
My head went heartburn, but it was also the middle of the night. And I was just like, what's happening?
And you said your stomach felt what way again?
Not great, because I had a veggie burger, which is normally fine.
Yeah.
But then I was like, in the middle of the night, I woke up probably for an unrelated reason, but I was like, oh God, why do I feel so like hot and weird in the middle of my tum-tum?
Oh no.
But it was kind of near my heart, so I was like, is this heartburn?
Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like there's multiple different types, though, to be honest. Okay. Or
well,
no, is what happened. I had acid reflux. That's what I had. Is that the same as heartburn?
I feel like they're often talked about together, so maybe they're related, but I don't think they're the same thing.
Do you have like a relief? Like, what do you do to relieve yourself of that feeling? It
hasn't happened in so long. That's why I was like, is this heartburn? It feels like it's been several years since I got heartburn, if this is it.
But so Stacy, since we were children, she has been a huge, like, pro Pepto-Bismol.
You gotta keep that motherfucking thing on you.
Listen, she does. And the first time she ever offered it to me, I laughed so fucking hard I almost shat myself, because she was dead serious. And the only time I ever heard Pepto-Bismol was, like, in a joking way, like on SNL and shit.
Or I was like, I'm very seriously and earnestly offering you
She was genuinely concerned about me and my health, and I was like, what? And I was dying laughing, and she's just standing there with the bottle like, what?
I'm like, shots anyone? I fucking love Pepto-Bismol. It tastes great. I like it in all of its delicious chalky forms.
I haven't had the liquid kind, and I want to try it. I've never had it. I'm so serious. I've never tried it.
Good.
I don't think I even tried it that time because you're like, just try it. And I was like, I'm good. And like, you were like, why aren't you?
I'm like, I have a shot at this every day.
Yeah, I was being like weirdly stubborn about it. I don't know. I've always been like super weird about medicine. I've been very annoying about it my whole life. So like what I was going to say was my cure my whole life that I was told for like heartburn and acid reflux and blah, blah, blah was mustard.
Mustard?
Like a giant spoonful of mustard.
What the?
And it doesn't really help that much.
I feel like it would make it worse, if anything.
It probably does. It's probably just a total placebo, but...
Like yellow mustard?
Yeah. Like straight up
spicy mustard would definitely make it worse.
I love a good spicy mustard. I haven't tried that in this scenario, but yeah.
Wow.
Like for some reason I was always told, no, get a giant spoonful of yellow mustard. Like, and I think a lot of these like quote unquote wives' tales do work. Don't know about the mustard one, TBH.
Yeah, and it could just be placebo effect, which is still working.
Yeah.
Still works.
Yeah.
Any other remedies you want to share with us?
Oh, man.
I do like a food-based remedy, because don't give me an excuse to snack.
I'm trying to think. Well, chocolate cures all
Especially
all
Dementor attacks, am I right? Harry Potter?
No, honestly, Lupin was onto something, because when I have if I'm having like a really fucking shitty day, if I have one piece of chocolate, I feel just like lightly better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's onto some shit for sure.
Honestly, and he knows what the fuck is up. He's been through it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. We're at a new angle right now, you guys. Every episode before this episode, we were facing the same way and like tilting our heads like we were sitting at a bar together. This time we're facing each other because Stacy's brilliant idea of us looking at each other finally, and it's the best day of my life.
We're making eye contact. It's romantic.
So
we have a soft glow.
We need a candle.
Ultimate blockbuster wives.
Honestly.
Date night.
Date night, baby. Speaking of date night, we watched part of this movie together, which we normally don't do.
Yes, because we're afraid that we'll get all of our good banter and quips out if we watch it together.
We wouldn't be able to help ourselves, but this time we held back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple times where we were making jokes, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we're like, no, we must save this.
Save it.
But what movie are we talking about today?
We're talking about the iconic League of Their Own.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Which
Feminist
for those
queens.
of you, for those of you who don't know, it's like a feminist baseball movie.
Straight up, the theme, I think, in my heart is women saved professional baseball during World War II.
You're welcome.
You're fucking welcome, bitch.
You're welcome. Also, this might be the first movie that we've watched that has passed the Bechdel test. Are you familiar with the Bechdel test?
You're the one that told me about the Bechdel test, but please
really?
tell... I think you told me about it when I was telling you how much I loved Sex and the City, like years ago. And you were like, I don't think it passes the Bechdel test.
Oh, no, it would. It definitely would, because it's a pretty simple test. I'm going to look it up just to make sure I've got it right.
Because I thought it was about how, like, it has to be a scene where they're not talking about a man or something like that.
Yeah, but I feel like that probably happens in Sex and the City.
Very rarely.
Really?
To be honest, a lot of what they talk about is like that's mostly what they talk about. I mean, they do talk about other things, and it kind of gets highlighted in the show, but like I think we talked about how, I mean, they do have scenes where they do like not talk about men, but it's super rare, gotta be honest.
Okay, well, the Bechdel test, yes, it asks whether a work features at least two women who talk to each other about something other than a man. Sometimes the requirement that the two women must be named is added. So I truly don't think any of our movies have passed this test. Shrek? Wow. I don't think so.
So two women talking about something that's not a man
to each
other at any point. It doesn't matter what the length is, they would pass, even if it was just like a split second. Okay, then Sex and the City would.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't think Shrek has two women talking to each other.
Shrek 2 would, I believe.
Maybe, but I think they're talking about Shrek.
Yeah, but like Shrek, no.
Kung Pao, no.
Kung Pao, absolutely not.
Napoleon Dynamite, no.
Nope.
Crazy.
And what's
Sandlot, no.
Sandlot, 0%. The mom was the only like woman that spoke in that movie. And yeah, this is the 5th movie is the first one that passes
breaking the glass ceiling. And does it break it hard? Because that's like what this movie's all about. It's very pro women, which is fascinating because I thought that for sure women would have written this movie, but they didn't. It was 3 dudes.
Yeah, 3 dudes. Luckily, it was a woman that directed it.
Okay.
And we'll get to that in a second. But do you want to give like the little the plot, and then I'll go into the corporate bullshit?
Yes. Okay,
cool.
So the movie focuses on 2 sisters who work on a farm, and they like playing softball for fun. But when World War II starts ramping up, a bunch of men have to go overseas to fight. And so they're really worried that Americans are going to lose this cultural heritage of baseball because all the men are gone. So a dude who owns what I believe is a candy company thinks of a crazy idea of what if we pay women to play baseball while the men are gone, and everyone's like, what? So the movie follows these new women baseball teams as they try to navigate the world and be accepted and play baseball.
That was a great summary.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe it's a chocolate company, very similar, some Willy Wonka shit.
Hell yeah.
And who that person is supposed to represent in real life is Wrigley, the guy who owns Wrigley's Gum.
Oh, we should make it clear that, yes, this is based on a true story.
Yeah, it really is. Like, the main character is based on a real person that exists. They switched up the name, but still, it's like, yeah, it's fully based on a true story, which is so rad. I was worried that it wasn't true. I had to double check today. Pretty fucking rad.
Yeah, it's such a cool idea, such a cool moment in history. I feel like they really just nailed so many of the gender dynamics, like hardcore.
Me too. And I love that the women, like, throughout the whole movie, something that I truly loved is they really, like, fucking rode for each other. Because I think in a lot of movies, especially written by men, the women are super catty, which is not reflective of how the women I know are at all. So it was cool to see all the women sticking up for each other.
Yeah, it just felt very genuine portrayals of women, which why I think I was so surprised that it was written by men. Makes more sense that it was directed by a woman.
Totally.
So that kind of checks out, but still, just the writing I thought was great, and maybe a lot of it was ad-libbed, who knows, but it's truly stunning. Star-studded cast. Do you want to get into corporate bullshit?
Let's do it. Okay, so A League of Their Own was released July 1st, 1992. Super pre-9/11, as Stacy would put it. It is 128 minutes.
Now, this is the longest we've done so far. I wonder if and when we'll get a movie that beats that.
I don't know. I guess we have to stay tuned. So yeah, it was directed by Penny Marshall, and I have a lot to say about her.
Hell yeah.
So Penny Marshall is so she's the director. She wrote... she made her directional debut with Jumpin' Jack Flash, which is starring Whoopi Goldberg in 1986.
Never seen it.
Me neither, but apparently it's really good. Then she directed Big in 1988, which is the first film directed by a woman to gross more than $100 million in the U.S. box office. So
and her first run-in with Tom Hanks, I bet.
Yeah. Yep. So then she's just like, I need him for this movie, I'm sure. She also she directed Riding in Cars with Boys, starring Drew Barrymore, The Preacher's Wife, and then she produced Cinderella Man and Bewitched.
Oh, hell yeah.
She is the sister of Gary Marshall, who is in the movie. He portrays the chocolate factory guy.
Oh my God, and you know what he's from?
Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
They're both in Hocus Pocus.
Wait.
They play the husband and wife, but they're actually brother and sister in real life.
So the wife in Hocus Pocus is the director of this movie.
Yes.
Incredibly.
And Gary Marshall, I have a lot to say about him as well, because he wrote on The Lucy Show, Dick Van Dyke. He created Happy Days. Wow. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Laverne and Shirley. He directed Pretty Woman.
Oh, damn.
Runaway Bride. And, most importantly, Princess Diaries 1 and 2.
Dang. What? That guy directed Princess Diaries?
Yep. And I'm almost 1,000% certain that he also directed Hocus Pocus. So.
Wow. I had no idea. But it was bothering me so much when he first appeared on the screen. I was like, I know this man. I can picture him yelling. What is he from? And then I was like, Hocus Pocus.
Yep, it's so good. I never knew that it was Penny Marshall that was the wife.
No, he says, "Get out of my house."
Yeah, get out of my house. But if you look at them, they do look very alike. And
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Wow, how fun for them.
I know. The budget was $40 million.
Whoa,
Pretty penny.
yeah.
$20 million less than Shrek, I believe. Wasn't Shrek 60 mil?
It was a lot. But substantially more than Sandlot.
Oh yeah, way more than The Sandlot. And the box office amount that they made is $132.4 million.
Hell yes, we love to see it.
And it was filmed in both Indiana and Ontario, California, and then slightly in Chicago at Wrigley Field. I believe that's where the auditions were held.
Oh, I love that.
Or not audition.
I think that's
tryouts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, they basically treat it like auditions because they're like, "Are you pretty?"
That's true. That is true. Okay, so let's call it an audition. So yeah, the auditions were filmed at Wrigley Field, which they named something else. But yeah, and then I wrote in giant caps, "Women saved baseball."
Women saved baseball.
It's true.
Period.
In my heart, women saved baseball, and I wouldn't have known that unless A League of Their Own existed. So thank you, Penny Marshall, and all the people that wrote it.
Thank you, Penny Marshall, and the stars. I mean, this is going to be our first Tom Hanks and Gina Davis movie, but there will be many more because they were like 90s and 2000s stars.
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah,
let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Tom Hanks is in a million things. We've got to do You've Got Mail, one of my
which I still have not seen. I want to watch it with you.
Crazy to me.
This is one of Stacy's favorite fucking movies. She's been telling me about this since we were kids, and I still haven't watched it because I want to watch it with her, and we just always end up watching like silly, goofy things.
But I honestly want you to watch it on your own, so you don't have me like chirping in your ear and giving you a skewed view. I want you to view it on your own terms in its full glory.
All right.
And we'll talk about it on the pod.
You chirping in my ear is, quote unquote, one of my favorite things ever in life.
Hello. Shut the fuck up. Well, you don't like talking during movies, right?
You're right. But if you were giving, if it was something you were passionate about, then I wouldn't give a shit, you know? Mm-hmm. But no, I don't. It's actually one of my biggest pet peeves if it's a movie I've never seen before. Okay. So that's true.
So that's the line.
It's something I don't like about myself because I get really annoyed. And it's so funny because I feel like I'm a super patient person, but it's one of the only things that I get I snap about, and I try not to be like that.
Do you ever consider putting on subtitles and just ignoring the talking? Because that's what I do sometimes. If I'm like, I genuinely want to know what's going on and people won't stop talking.
Well, usually I don't put myself in those positions, but I always put captions on if I'm watching a movie or TV.
Oh, so you're captioned at all times?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I usually avoid them because I do find myself reading them before they say it, and I feel like it does take me out a little bit. But some movies I feel like you need to because they're super hard to understand, or it's mixed badly and it goes from like screamy loud to whisper quiet, and I'm just like, yo.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm a tiny bit hard of hearing a little bit, so it helps me. I don't think I've ever said that out loud before.
Wow, how does it feel? Vulnerable.
Such vulnerability. Thank you for providing the safe space.
We're here for you.
No, but I do feel I'm a tiny bit hard of hearing, so like it helps a lot with that, you know.
Oh. Well, you were a drummer in your youth, and that'll do it.
I was a drummer, and I just like love listening to music super loud. Anyways, but yeah.
Well, that was a fun little jaunt down our movie preferences. I love that.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah, so first Tom Hanks and first Gina Davis movie we're going to watch on the pod. Can we just say as a preliminary matter, Gina Davis is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous in this movie.
One of the baddest women I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. And like, I feel like this movie really did her justice because she's so gorgina in Beetlejuice, like I mentioned previously. And in other things that I've seen her in, like, lightly. But this movie, with this hair color, this exact style, the makeup, everything, like, this is her. Like, I mean, she was made to play this role.
Absolutely. For real. Like, the outfits look so good on her. The color palettes, the pinks and pale yellows, like, just make her pop. Oh, yeah. Her hair's always, like, super fleeky. Mm-hmm. Makeup perfect. That lipstick is never smudged, even when she's, like, aggressively dirty from playing baseball, which she is a lot. They do make these women like weirdly dirty. Yeah. In every scene where they're playing. I'm like, I don't think you'd have that much dirt all over you, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, but I also love her beauty mark. You know, she wears it loud and proud. I love that. And I just think, and I love her in a backwards cap.
Oh yeah.
Very, I mean, it's
And
very gay of me to love that, but like,
well, and the whole catcher getup, I'm like, she fucking works it.
oh,
like,
she sure does. Oh, she absolutely does. There's a lot of like underlying queerness in this movie, as far as like I just feel it in me bones when I'm like watching these women. I'm like, yes.
Oh, particularly I think Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna's characters.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, they are a couple. I want them to get married.
They're in love. That's when, well, we'll talk about it later, but when it shows a little scene of them when they're older and they're still, you know, popping off, being like next to each other and being besties. And I'm like, y'all are together. It's fine. Just say that.
Just admit it.
Tell us.
But maybe they're baseball wives, much like we're blockbuster wives.
Ah. Yeah, so it goes far beyond romance or beyond a label.
And that is the one thing I do remember from this movie. I admit I have not seen this movie a ton of times. I think in part because it is a longer one.
True.
But I do remember, I remember thinking like it was a very feminist movie and like radicalized me, and that Gina Davis was like fucking gorgeous. Those are the two things that I remembered off the top. I remembered that Tom Hanks was in it, but I couldn't remember like what exactly he did. And then he was like their coach, but he didn't do much.
All I remembered was that he was like super drunk all the time, which is...
I had forgotten that, which is so funny because like, well, and I guess they don't really develop it that well in the movie. Like they say he's a drunk. In the first couple scenes, the audience sees him. He is drunk, but he's like angry about having to coach these women. But then he just like gets sober at some point, and it's not really like a thing.
Yeah, they never talk about it in detail whatsoever. Right. There's no plot with that at all.
Like, oh, it really makes it seem like he's just like he's drunk because he thinks they suck, and he's insulted that he has to coach women. Right. But then as soon as he sees that they're like actually good, then he's like, I'm no longer gonna be a drunk because I have to coach these women.
Yeah. Yeah, you see him like right away when he's talking to Gary Marshall, and he's just like pretty belligerent. He's just like, do you drink anymore? He's like, no. And it's like his tie is all fucked up and but then he gets even more drunk when he realizes, okay, this is the only thing I'm able to fucking do great. But then, like she said, once he starts seeing them play really well, he's like, wait a fucking second. I could maybe help these baddies get the gold or whatever you get when you play baseball. Anyway.
You got a gold medal for sure.
Perfect.
Pretty sure about that.
I knew it.
But in addition to these star-studded cast members, we also have an interesting performance by Jon Lovitz, who I did not remember was in the movie at all.
Bro, I didn't remember him in the movie at all either, and I love him so much. And everything he's in, he makes me fucking die laughing.
So funny. I agree. One of my favorite movies is Rat Race.
Yes.
And he so
plays
good
the
in that.
perfect character in that.
So good. Yeah, just like the dickhead dad who's ruining everyone's lives for his own selfish desires.
Yes, he's just like, I don't fucking give a fuck about any of you. Speaking of Hocus Pocus, and his wife is one of the sisters.
Oh yeah.
One of the is it Mary?
Mary, yeah.
Yeah. So she's also in Rat Race, which we definitely have to watch.
Yeah,
on this.
I'm gonna add that to the list.
Okay, it might be there already, but maybe not.
Okay.
But that's a fantastic movie. Anyway, and my favorite of him, besides Rat Race, is definitely Wedding Singer.
Yes, that is a great one.
Yeah.
He's, oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Is that one on there? Okay, we're writing that one down. If
yeah,
it's
we
there
gotta.
twice, who even cares?
Any of those SNL movies.
We should do a Sandler month.
It'll be like impossible to pick. We'll have to pick ones from our like the best.
We might have to have a draft. What if we got the audience involved in the Sandler draft?
Oh my God, would you guys be down to do a Sandler draft to pick your favorite Adam Sandler movie, like your top 4 favorites?
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
We hear you, audience. Who are we to deny you your deepest desires?
Look, all we want to do is like, we're here for you. You know what I mean? This is like our gift to y'all for listening. So we'd be happy. I mean, you're begging us at this point. So let's just do it.
It's kind of pathetic.
It's like a little bit sad, but I guess we'll do it. I mean, if it's what the audience really wants. But yeah, we should definitely get that started. It'll have to be next year though, because we already have.
We're booked and blessed, baby. But anyways, Jon Lovitz. I think based on his jokes and just like how like one-liner they are, I bet they just like gave him free reign to be like, punch up the script, say whatever you want, it'll be great. And he was like, say no more.
Yeah, he's so quick. He's like one of the quickest comedians I've ever seen in my life. And I guarantee in most movies, they just want him to just do whatever. Similarly to Jim Carrey in a different way. But I'm sure that everyone who has either of them in their movies is like, look, you're going to do way better than any script I could possibly write.
So just go ham.
Yeah.
I also feel like maybe he was only available to film for like one day because he's so happy in the beginning scenes and then you do not see him again.
Nope. You do see him at the very end as an old man, but it's not him. So.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. I'm like, I feel like, he showed up for one day. They let him do whatever he wanted and it turned out great.
I love the last thing you hear him say is literally like, I hate when they get so attached to me. And he just like walks off angrily.
So
Incredible.
He's so good. He really is just like genuinely hilarious guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Okay, so should we go through our notes?
Let's do it.
The plot points. So in the opening scene, it's actually very similar to something that Shea talked about she liked for Sandlot, which is where the movie starts closer to present day. And then it goes back in time to an earlier time and then jumps back forward to wrap it all up. So in this case, the movie starts off with an older Gina Davis. I thought maybe it actually was Gina Davis in makeup because it looks so much like her, but Googled it. It's not her. It's, what's her name again? We looked it up. Linda Cartwright?
Linda Cartwright.
Linda Cartwright.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Linda Cartwright, not Gina Davis, but it seriously looks just like her.
Super gorgy, too. I mean, unreal. She looks just like my late grandmother, R.I.P. Annabelle.
Sweet Annabelle.
Sweet, sweet, beautiful Annabelle. She looks just like her. It kind of tripped me out a little bit.
Whoa. So you see her, she's older, and her daughter's like, Mom, you have to go. You're a part of history.
It's so sweet.
You have to. And her daughter has like amazing energy and is like, you're going. I'm literally pushing you out the door, which is great. We love it.
It's sad because she kind of says like, you lock yourself in this room, so she's like, I just want to see you out of the house. Yeah. Not in a like mean, like get the fuck out of here way, but it just like, I know that you're going to get so much praise and you're going to feel so good. Just please go. You'll love it.
And then they have a great scene as she is leaving the house. She sees her grandkids playing basketball. And, like, there's a little brother and a big brother. And then you see that she likes the underdog because she's, like, telling the older brother, she's like, let your little brother have a chance to shoot. He's smaller. And then she turns to the younger brother and she goes, kill him. And then she goes off on this trip. So you get, like, okay, she's always been about that underdog spirit.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I noticed, because, in the beginning scenes of many of these 90s movies, they, like, run credits the whole opening sequence. And then I saw Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack.
I saw that, too.
I was like, what? Excuse me?
I saw that, too, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I was just like, dang, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, but I know that's funny that you noticed that. I noticed the same thing.
And it also has another 90s trope where they play a very, very on-the-nose song to like get us started. So they're like in the car and it's like the lyrics are something to the effect of like, I'll never forget those times.
Oh yeah.
They
like,
were so great.
We were the lucky ones.
Yeah, like going down memory lane. I'm like, this is incredible. Like it's just so on the nose.
That's as if Stacy and I were just like doing a voiceover, like saying whatever came to mind.
It's so funny.
Fucking
I was like,
amazing.
yep, this is nobody was afraid about being too on the nose in this time. They were not afraid.
Very cheesy, but like works, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's like a weird little flashback of, I think this is when they start establishing that like, oh, baseball's going away because of the war. Mm-hmm. And they show some pictures of Joe DiMaggio. I did not know he was such a babe.
Oh, he's so fine.
Did you know this?
Yeah, because he literally was married to Marilyn Monroe.
He was?
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Joe DiMaggio, baby.
I had no idea. I was like, who is this hot man? And then they say Joe DiMaggio, and I Googled him, and I was like, what?
Yep, he and Marilyn were.
Wow. No, he fine. He fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's super fucking fine. And I don't think I even saw that picture, but yes, he's super fine.
He's great. And then they establish like, oh, the war's happening, so ladies are going to play. And that's the only reason they get to play.
I know. It's so trash.
Mm-hmm.
At least they got to play, but like literally only in like an emergency situation.
Exactly.
Whack.
Yeah. And so that gets you fully into the flashbacks. And now old Gina Davis is out. We're back in the young times. Her and her sister are playing softball in their cutie little dairy uniforms. And like, so cute. Gina Davis is amazing. And everyone's like, oh my God, she's so great. And her little kid sister, who's named Kit.
Kit, I saw that.
Which is my niece's name.
Do you think that's why?
No, she's named after Kit Carson.
Oh, yeah, you told me that before. But
still
so
such
cute.
An adorable name. But like Kit is having a harder time playing. She keeps swinging on the wrong ball. And everyone's like, your sister's better. We're rude. And she's like, oh, I wish I was as good as you. I'm sad.
It is really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever feel like that with your sisters? Because I didn't have any sisters, growing up, so I never felt like the competition?
No, but I think because we weren't sporty spices, so like I feel like it does rear its head most in sports.
Right.
And none of us really gave a fuck. Like, we played sports, but I felt like it was only because, like, that's what you do, and you put your kids in sports. But I did not have passion for it, so I did not care if my sisters were better at me.
And also, they were, like, as I was asking, I realized, I'm like, well, they're a bit older, too.
Yeah, they're
so
4 and 7 years older. I think it's way worse when you're, like, a year apart.
Yeah,
or, like, 2
even
years.
2 years apart, yeah.
Because, like, we didn't know the same people. We didn't have the same friends.
Yeah, there was no, like, weight in whatever competition it would have been.
Yeah, I didn't care about sports, so I was just
like don't care, bye-bye.
So no, luckily I didn't get that.
That makes sense.
What about you? Did you feel competitive with your bros?
Not at all.
Hey.
We were all good at different shit, and like I feel like the only thing that I think we competed about was like video games, and even that was just literally within the 4 of us and didn't bleed outside of our 4 walls, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And we'd get like intensely competitive while playing video games,
right.
But it wasn't like something I'd be like, I wish I was as good as my sisters at Super Smash Bros. Like, it didn't bother me if I like, I'd be like, you suck, but I wasn't like, it wasn't ruining my life the way it's ruining this chick's life.
Yeah,
like,
and
she's having a rough time.
Yeah, I think we were raised in homes that weren't very competitive too, because I feel like other people we know were raised to be super competitive, and it just always seems to be super unhealthy and like really not good in that way.
It was definitely not like a winning is super important household.
No, me neither.
Which is good.
Yeah, very, very good.
So take that, boomers, when you're complaining about everybody gets a trophy logic. Shea and I had that kind of logic, and we're great.
Yeah, and we still are, and we're very supportive of other people that are doing really well, and we're not, like, comparing ourselves to them, so suck it.
And wishing they would go away, which is kind of like what Kit said. She's like, we're in this small town, we're just dairy farmers. As long as you're around, no one's going to want to date me, no one's going to want to marry me, I'm never going to get out, no one's going to notice me. Very sad.
Yeah, and Gina was already, like, married. She had her man. He was off at the war. Like, she already had her life planned out. So she's, like, Gucci, just, like, playing, like, pretty well on this little league and just, like, chilling at the farm and, like, milking the cows and stuff. But Kit always had dreams of yonder. She wanted to escape. She knew in this little town she wouldn't find anything that, like, really resonated with her.
Yeah, and I think she thought she couldn't shine because she'd always be in her sister's shadow, and Kit wanted to fucking shine.
Yeah.
And so one day, as they're working on the farm, an agent comes along and tells them of this harebrained scheme to have women play baseball, and that they saw them at the softball game. And he specifically wants Gina Davis only because he thinks that Kit's bad because she, like, missed 2 swings.
Which she's not even, that's not even her position, right? She's a pitcher.
Yeah, and pitchers are notoriously bad at hitting. Like, sometimes they have pitch hitters who hit 4 of them. So it's like sometimes they don't even have to hit the ball because there's a pitcher. And so Gina Davis points this out. She's like, hey, I like how I just keep calling her Gina Davis. Gina Davis / Dottie.
Dottie, yeah.
Points out that Kit is a pitcher and she didn't pitch that day because she had just pitched the day before and she didn't want to, like, ice out her arm or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, no, I don't fucking care about her. She's not pretty enough.
Disgusting.
Yeah, he's like fucking savage. And this is John Lovitz, by the way.
Yeah, I love him, but I also, like, hate that so many men feel so privileged to literally shit on women and, like, shame them for how they look. It's like, fuck you.
Just, like, very blatantly and rudely. And he's like, no, you're better. You're pretty. She's ain't shit. I didn't see her play. I don't care about her. You're coming.
And Gina Davis is like, no.
How about no?
How about no, Scott? Okay.
Exactly. She's like, I'm not going. We're not doing it. And he's like, all right, well, if you change your mind, there's, like, a train ticket. Get on the train.
And Kit is like, wait, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. And at that point, does he say that Kit can come or not till later?
Yeah, so she, like, runs out after him and she's just like, just watch me pitch right now. And she's like, I will pitch right now for you. You'll see. And he's like, I'm not interested. And she's like, please, this is, like, this is my chance, like, whatever. And he's like, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you get your sister to do it, then you can come.
So he totally leverages Kit against Dottie. That's how it is. And so Kit's like, you have to go. And so she's like, has a whole scene where she's trying to convince her. And she has this Gina Davis has this great line while Kit's trying to convince her. And she goes, I'm married. I have my life. Let's not confuse things. Yes. And it's, like, such a dominant mindset then and now. Mm-hmm. Like, people just want things to be very predictable and binary and expected, and it's like people freak out if things get mildly quote unquote confusing, and it scares them.
Yep. It goes to show that we are, as a people, as humans, we're so fucking scared of change. But that's ironically the only consistent, like the only constant in any of our lives is change. So it's like, it's just interesting that she's like, let's not confuse things. It's like things are already changing, bro. Like,
yeah, it's like a false sense of control.
Totally. Yeah.
Like you can't choose whether things are confusing or not. Like things are gonna happen, and you can't like make them unhappen just because you don't like it or you think it's confusing or scary.
Right. And I love that, Kit kind of like said her piece and was like, this is my way out. You already have your shit. Like, let's just do this. I need to escape, basically. And Gina Davis totally agrees, because the next scene, you're seeing them running after a train that has already started moving. It's
so
badass.
It's such a cute scene, because like Gina Davis keeps running into like the train frame and then falling behind and then like running back
like
up,
throwing a suitcase in and then falling behind.
So good. She was like just laser focused, and John Lovett's like, come on, get on the train.
Get on the train, sweetheart. Yeah. So then they end up getting on the train, and they think that they're gonna immediately go to tryouts, but what's his real name? Oh, his name is Ernie Capadino. So,
Ernie Capadino's John Lovett?
Ernie Capadino, yep.
Wow.
So Ernie is like, wait, we got to make another stop because I need to see another girl. So they stop and see another girl play who's incredible. And she's just absolutely stunning as far as her baseball playing goes. And then John Lovitz is like, holy shit. And once she actually walks up to him, he realizes that she's not, the type of woman that he wanted on the team, which is, I don't even remember what the word he used was, but
he basically was like, sex sells, and like, we want hot girls and you're not hot enough.
Yeah. And it's so sad when her dad is like, don't blame her. I raised her as a boy because that's all I knew. She doesn't have a mom. And
it's also a weird concept that he kept being like, I didn't raise her to be pretty.
Right.
Which is like the idea that you could raise somebody and that would affect their like physical attractiveness. Like, her face is her face regardless of how you raised her.
Totally.
I guess maybe just
means
implying,
like as much like how much glamour that she has.
Right, like makeup and hair, but it's like you could easily just add those in, bro. It's not like you raising her wrong.
Totally.
Like anyone can just do that for her.
Yeah. And so he's just like, no, we'll see. And so he's like, come on, girls, let's go. And so he's trying to like rush them out, and the girls literally stand their ground and they're like, no.
It's
which
such
like,
a good scene. That's like
yes.
the first sign you see of like interwoman solidarity, not like, oh, I'm a catty bitch and I don't want competition, so fuck her. They're like, we're literally not getting on that train unless she comes.
Yeah, which is fucking so, like, because I haven't seen the movie for a long time. This was literally my second time watching it. The first time I watched it, I was absolutely in love, but I haven't seen it for a long time. So when I was watching it this time, it was almost like watching it my first time. And I was so nervous in that moment where he's like, come on, girls, let's go. I was like, oh no, they're just going to leave her. And then they just stand there like, no, we're not leaving. I was like, fuck. Yes. Flips the table over.
Yeah, it's such a powerful scene. So fast. This is also at the end of the scene when John Lovitz capitulates. He's like, I have to go home and give my wife the old pickle tickle. Which I was like, whoa.
Another pickle.
Yeah, it's like, God, it's baseballs and pickles.
Baseball
they go
and
together.
Pickle. Yep. You know what? When we go to our baseball game, whenever that is, we need pickles.
Do you think they sell them at the field?
I don't know, but I'll fucking sneak some in.
I was about to call it the patch, and I'm like, that's not what it's called.
I'm sure there's going to be one
The
on the
pumpkin
field.
patch baseball field. You know what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
And then they then go to this really interesting scene as they're trying out, and it's this hateful woman on the radio, and it's like spliced where like this woman's like spewing a bunch of bullshit on the radio as they're showing the ladies like trying out and being awesome.
Yep.
And this hateful lady's like, what are they gonna think of next? Like, women are becoming men because our men are away at the war. They're gonna come back and find a bunch of men. And you know why? Because now women are playing baseball. What's next? This is crazy. It's like, this is literally the shit you hear on like Fox News and shit.
Oh, I know it is. That's
like
exactly what I thought of. Absolutely disgusting.
Like this fear about drag queens and trans people, and everyone's like, ugh. And it's because they're afraid of things changing, and they're confused, and they're not taking it upon themselves to become unconfused.
or educated
Right.
or aware whatsoever about how life fucking works and is. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, so they're just like, no, things are changing. I hate it, and this is gonna flip upside down gender hegemony. And it's like, you need to let go of this concept that men and women are like two different things that can never cross. And it's just like, relax.
It's like the whole like men are from Mars, women are from Venus fucking horse shit. Like, no, dude.
Like, women can only cook and men can only play baseball. It's like, what?
Like, what year are we actually in right now? Because this movie is supposed to be set in like 1943, and we're still hearing a lot of these conversations almost fucking 100 years later.
And it's so cliche to say, but it's like, human beings have so much more in common with each other than differences, and the fact that people hyper focus on like genitals is nuts.
It's gross.
And be like, you can't do this because of your genitals or your XY or whatever it is. It's like
your chromosomes.
Yo, like, we're all basically the same. So why don't you just chill?
Literally chill, fucking smoke weed, and like lay down for a minute and think about what you've done. What is wrong with, like, honestly, this conversation, it's coming up too often these days.
Right? That's why I think it's such a good movie to watch now, as people are like acting like the world is going to flip upside down if we don't keep strictly enforced gender boundaries. It's just like, yeah, chill.
I know. I really like this movie for pointing out like typical gender roles, and also like even just like certain parts in the movie, we'll probably get to it, but like, you know, just how the women are treated by the dudes, how that's like really being highlighted in the movie.
Oh yeah, like every scene I feel like there's something like pointing out. Like there's a great scene where like the women are doing all the baseball playing and they're doing great, and like the announcer's like, wow, isn't Mr. Harvey great? All praise to the guy who like organized this. And it's like, yeah, these women aren't doing anything.
Right. Or even like, so these women are literally professional baseball players, and they're like gone for like a few months at a time or whatever. And one of the baseball players is like, my husband said that he's going to be busy looking at the want ads, and like he refuses to take our son. So can I bring my son with us? It's like, bro, that is insane.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how all the women seem to like either actively dislike their husbands, or they're just like don't really care. Like Gina Davis definitely has the most caring relationship, I guess, but even then she's just like, I'm married, he's my husband, that means we have to be together, and that when he comes back I have to quit playing baseball because I'm a married woman. I can't do both.
I know, it's just
like,
so sad.
Yeah, you can.
And you know what, he's really supportive at the end of it, so
yeah,
at least there's
God.
that. But that's rare as fuck, I'm sure, especially at that time.
Yeah. So yeah, the ladies do their little tryouts. A bunch of women get cut, but of course our main queens stay on. You get introduced to Rosie O'Donnell. You get introduced to Madonna, a bunch of the other players, but the Madonna and Rosie combo I just love so much.
I adore them.
And they have the cutest little origin story that you find out later in the movie. It turns out that Madonna was a taxi dancer, which I had to look this up. Did you know what this was? Okay,
no, I didn't
never
either.
heard of it.
I was thinking it was a prostitute. Like I thought it was a sex worker.
Yeah, I was like, it must be like a stripper or dancer and like a taxi hub. I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
But apparently back in the day at dance clubs, women used to be able to sell dances with men, and they would be like cute and good at dancing, and the men would want to be like out with them and seen with them, so they would pay women for dances.
And you see, you know, a little bit later in the film how great of a dancer she truly is, and it makes so much sense that people would pay her to dance with them because she was so fire.
Yeah, so she was a taxi dancer, Madonna was a taxi dancer, and Rosie was the bouncer. And they've been friends ever since.
So cute.
And I'm like, if that isn't a queer love story.
I was just going to say, if that's not a love story, I swear.
Sorry.
So cute.
Got a little cough going on, y'all. My bad.
Poor my darling.
And there's a really, really sad scene where there's like this woman who looks lost by the bulletin boards.
Oh my God.
And this fucking dickhead man is like, it's not that hard, lady. Either you're on the list or you're not. So are you or not? Because if you're not, you got to go. And she's like welling up and she's got tears in her eyes and she's looking really flustered. And a smart queen goes up to her and is like, are you able to read? And she's like, no. So she finds her name and she's on the list and she makes the team.
And she's a Rockford Peach, baby.
Which is where our ladies are. They're Rockport Peaches.
Is it Rockport? What is it? I always thought it was Rockford, but maybe I'm
call them
totally
the
wrong.
Peaches.
Yeah, Peaches.
I think all the towns were in Wisconsin though.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Which is odd.
Yeah. The real team that I don't think it's, well, I think it is the Peaches actually, but who they played against in real life is a Kenosha team.
Hell yeah.
Isn't that cool? We've been to Kenosha a couple times.
Yes, our dear friend Jamie lived there for a few years.
Yeah. Pretty cool place. You know, has its ups and downs.
They do have a cheese castle.
That is the best. What is it in Kenosha or is it in Milwaukee?
Kenosha. It's in Kenosha.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, that's the best part of Kenosha.
It's also home to a high-profile shooting of an unarmed black man, Jacob Black. So, again, ups and downs.
Fucking
America. Yeah.
We love
We
America.
got cheese and police violence, yeah. Mixed feelings.
So many. Yeah, you just named like the best and the worst part of life. Cheese Castle, best. And the rest, worst.
Fucking wax sauce.
Fucking wax sauce, baby. I wrote a bunch of quotes down, by the way, from this scene on
lay them on me.
So I'm probably skipping ahead here, but like what we were talking about, the swing dance scene, I wrote plus Madonna equals perfection. And then I wrote, she's maybe one of my favorite characters ever. Madonna did such an amazing job portraying this character. She's so sexy, but really like effortless and like so funny. Like she just, everything was like flawless. And the reason why they were out dancing is because they snuck out because I don't think they were allowed to like go out and do shit. I think they were like on a proper schedule and they had to be like quote unquote ladies, and they were taught all these like etiquette that like they had to go to etiquette classes and like ballet classes and
which
shit
looks
like that.
fun. I feel like charm school, if you have a chance to go voluntarily and your life doesn't depend on it, looks super fun.
Maybe we should
I'd
do
like
that
to learn all
sometime.
those things just to know.
You know what? If we ever do, which I know we will, if we do Princess Diaries, we should try to take an etiquette class too.
We should. Do you think they have them here?
Guaranteed.
I was like, I'm sure they have them in the South. Like fucking no one's business.
Guaranteed they have them here because a lot of, I mean, don't they have a lot of like Miss Nevada and shit here? Like, don't you think they would?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it in the pageant context. Yeah.
We should try to see what's up. That would be really
I know
fun.
some pageant beeps.
Maybe
I can
we
do some
could ask them what's up.
investigation. Oh my god, we should.
We really
can
should.
report back.
Stacy would be so fire and I would suck so much.
I don't know how great it is to be fire at etiquette. I mean, it's not that cool.
You know
Like
what?
the way she crossed her ankles. Fucking killed it.
Well, I can't. You know what? I'm great at that because I do not I can't cross my legs.
I'm literally manspreading so hard.
I am
too. Like Shay and I
You know
are
what?
like.
We look like true like masculine podcasters right now.
Like these legs are like at a 5-degree angle.
I
at
love
any-
your shirt, by the way.
I am wearing a Big Baby Scumbag shirt. Shout out to Big Baby Scumbag. He's a cool rapper from Florida.
Shouts out to you. But anyway, yeah, no, we should definitely do that etiquette class because it does look fun.
I think it looks fun. I mean, like, it sucks to be told that that's how you have to act 24/7, but it's like interesting info.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see how the other side lives.
You know,
It's not how I am at all. But yeah,
I want to know like how much I've been fucking it up too.
I know. I like. First of all, right now you should see my posture. Like I'm sure I look like fucking Wario or something.
We look like linebackers. Fucking Wario.
I look like Wario right now. The way like my energy is full. Tell me I'm wrong. Is my energy Wario?
She's balling up her fists and everything.
You know what? My fists naturally go. My hands naturally go into fists.
That's
if
like
I'm
Brett
just-
too. I'm like, you are always like Arthur fisting so hard.
I am. Why do I do that?
You and Brent so like.
Wait, Brent does it too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All the time.
Why are we the same
always like,
person?
relax.
It is so scary. You guys, I don't think we've talked about this on the cast yet, but like me and Stacy's fiance / our audio engineer are like the exact same person. It is so funny.
Every day I'm finding new similarities between them. And it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm always balling my fists up. I think I told you this because when I sleep, my hands are sore when I wake up, and it's because I'm
Oh.
fisting. Well, not.
And you're because I've been fisting all night.
I'm so hard. No,
I
I'm like
can't
balling my
stop.
fist so hard, and also sometimes I have bruises on my like forearms because I'm like gripping myself in my sleep. Like
You need a teddy bear.
I have a little piggy named Sushi.
And you squeeze the shit out of them when you sleep? Because maybe you should.
Maybe I should. I don't. I'll try.
I just picture you like vampire status with 2 stress balls in each hand, and they're like crossed over your shoulders. And you're just squeezing.
I'll try. I'll squeeze sushi tonight and let you know what's up.
Just picture you going to like a rigor mortis every time you go to bed.
Low key, I wake up and I'm like in more pain than I was when I was awake.
Why?
I have such intense dreams. I think that I just like fully like kung fu bitches in my sleep.
I'm so happy you know how to sleepwalk.
Oh my
you
god.
up there,
Me
swinging at bitches. I'd be like,
I would literally be Donkey Kong if I sleepwalked. I'd be like swinging off fucking vines and shit. I don't know
in
why.
the corner of the room just wait, do you have intense dreams like you're being attacked? Like what makes you ball up your fists like this?
I'm crying. Maybe I do sleepwalk. I don't know.
But like, is it dreams that you're being attacked? Is it dreams that you're like running away from things?
It's everything. Like my dreams are just so intense. Like I feel like a lot of the time I am fighting in my dreams or like running away or like protecting somebody. Like I feel like I'm always like doing some crazy shit. So
that's like Rick too. He's like, he'll be like, I had a dream that there was a shooter and I had to save everybody. And I'm like, I never have dreams like that. I barely remember my dreams. And usually when I do, they're like fucking stupid.
I have stupid dreams too. It's really like half and half. Lately, they've been more violent, I guess. So like maybe that's why I've been in a little bit of pain. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thinking about me sleepwalking makes me laugh so fucking hard because I would literally be fucking Waluigi swinging my arms at fucking passersby. So
Charm School. Let's go.
Charm School.
I think that's where we left up. We're gonna go.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, they're not allowed to go out because they're like charm school bitches. And I think the movie does a good job of highlighting that dimension of being a woman too, where it's like you have to do everything. Mm-hmm. You have to be a perfect woman. You have to know all the etiquette. You have to do the cooking, the cleaning. You have to look gorgeous. You have to be sexy and desirable. But you also have to be like out of reach. Oh, and by the way, if you're great at baseball, that's not enough. You have to do everything we just said and be great at baseball.
And you know what? It's not much has changed because literal professional basketball players who are women still have daytime fucking gigs. They still have daytime fucking jobs and also are professional athletes at the same time because they do not get paid adequately like men do.
And everyone's always commenting on how they look and what their nails look like and their hair and ugh.
It's so fucked. It's like genuinely like a good amount has changed, but clearly these themes have not changed much, which is fucked, and that's not how things should be at all. So but once they were going through etiquette school and shit, they realized like we're not going to be able to go out. We want to go out dancing. And so they literally drugged their like madam basically. Like who was she really?
Yeah, she was like the den mother almost.
I love that Tom Hanks was like, oh, and I loved you in The Wizard of Oz. Because as soon as I saw her, I was like, she like even before he said this, I was like, damn, she looks like the Wicked Witch of the West. And he fucking nailed it. It was so funny. So they like low key drugged her. Still don't know what they did to her. Fucked.
Yeah, they don't really. They call it poisoning. They're like, we're gonna poison her. They use the word poison.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So they poison her, so she's getting like crazy sick. And so they sneak out to go dancing, which like that's not an maybe not poison someone in order to dance.
Like I guess she wouldn't have like quote unquote let them go, but it's like you're a bunch of grown women. You can take her. What is she gonna do? Fire you all? No.
Yeah, no,
absolutely not.
0%.
Also, another thing about Tom Hanks, this isn't as egregious to me as the main plot point not happening until 57 minutes into The Sandlot. But Tom Hanks does not make an appearance in this movie until 30 minutes in.
Oh wow,
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
There's like a whole lot of world building before you get to Hanks, and then you're like, and here he is, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I thought that he was like in this a lot earlier.
Yeah, you'd think that he would be, but I guess like the build up for them all being together as a team took a while too. So I guess that makes sense. They just really wanted to like highlight the sisters dynamic first,
establish that shit nice and pat.
Yeah, so they're like out dancing and a lot of shit happens at this point. But one of the things is Gina Davis's character Dottie gets driven up by a literal child driving a car. and I wrote this quote down because I thought it was so fucking funny. The kid, parks, and she's like, well, thanks, kid. And he's like, he basically says, you want to take me in the backseat and make a man out of me? And this kid's like 10 or some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, you should not be operating heavy machinery.
And Dottie's like, what's about if I just smack you around for a while? She's just trying to like be like, you're a fucking child. What is wrong with you? And he goes, why can't we do both? And I was dying.
Smooth criminal.
I'm like, damn, you okay?
I'm like, you had that shit prepared.
He has that Hambino energy.
He does.
You know?
That Hambino confidence we all know and love.
Honestly. Okay, I think that might be the last or the only quote I have from that night specifically, but that made me die. And then whatever her name was, how she got like really drunk and got on stage and was like singing to that one dude that ended up being her husband.
Mm-hmm. That was the girl who was supposed to be quote unquote fugly at the beginning, even though
she's not.
And she literally just has bad posture.
Yeah, that's quite literally the only.
Yeah, and like, oh god, she's a sea demon.
Yeah, and it's like, no, she's cute. She's actually
fine.
Really cute. So what is wrong with you? And her husband's really cute too. And I recognize him from something, but I do not know what. I still don't know what. I think he was in a Disney movie. A DCOM, I should say.
Oh my god, maybe he'll be making an appearance in one of our future films.
Yeah, we'll, once we see him again, we'll figure it out. But the next thing I have written down is face signals / sign language. Literal iconic is what I wrote. So I think I'm talking about how so Tom Hanks's character like is not coaching them properly because he's just like drunk and he's like, fuck all yous, I'm just gonna do my own shit because you guys fucking suck and you're women and I hate you, basically.
And this is beneath me.
Yeah, and so like he's not helping them at all. He's supposed to be like really lifting them up and really organizing everything, but he doesn't. And so Gina Davis kind of like steps up to the plate,
Literally.
Yeah, quite literally and otherwise, because no one else is doing it and all the girls are pretty like disorganized because it shouldn't be on them to organize themselves.
Right, that's why you have a coach.
Yeah, and so he's not doing shit, so she steps up to the plate like I said. And so there's a scene where during the game she's like, I'm sure we've all seen it where baseball players or whatever, like other athletes are like giving each other like they're like tapping their nose and like pulling on their ears and like doing things with their hands and their bodies to give signals to the other players on what their play is going to be so that the other team doesn't know what's up. And there's a scene where basically she and Tom Hanks have like a battle royale with their hand and face signals, and I just thought that was really funny.
It's like basically voguing.
It is. Oh my god, it is. This is a queer,
it is
feminist ass film. I love it.
Yeah, it fucking hits it off the charts at the Bechdel test.
Truly does.
These women are talking about dancing. They're talking about their friendships. They're talking about their baseball. Sometimes they talk about men, but honestly, it's really not the focus.
No.
Truly. There's one scene where they kind of give a nod to black women and kind of like hint like, you're next, which they didn't have to do at all. And I thought for 1992, I was like actually surprised that was included.
Yeah, I really liked, and I recognize that actress as well. And I know like the black actress that threw the ball, and I don't know what she's from right now, but I recognize her heart. Wait, it just almost came to me. She had longer hair in the thing that I'm thinking of. God, I can't think of what it is right now. But she's in another movie from that era, like from that time. And I was like, ooh, I know her, but I can't think of what it is right now. Also, I wrote another quote from Rosie O'Donnell where she's on the bus. This is another nod to them like hating their partners because she's showing a picture of her boyfriend to the other girls on the bus. Oh, yeah. And one of the girls is like, oh, is the picture out of focus? And she's like, no, that's just how he looks. And I was dying laughing. And then she just rips up the picture and she throws it away because she basically says he treats her like shit.
Yeah, and then she gives like a very explicit speech about like, I thought that was all I could deserved or all I could handle. But now that I'm here and seeing all these other women, like he sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Like she's like being like, the power of female frienddip is saving me. And it's like,
straight up. And that's why, like, we don't have to get into like the full nitty gritty, but that is why when, in a lot of relationships, but specifically like hetero relationships with like a cis man and a cis woman, a lot of the time the shitty man will isolate the woman away from like all the other women in her life, because he knows like if he doesn't do that, then the other ladies will be like, this is fucked. What the fuck is happening? Like, no, you don't deserve that.
Yeah, and so again, a lot of these women's men are off at the war, and there's like a crazy dramatic scene where a telegram guy comes and he's like, oh man, one of your husband's dead. It's wild that they send me. Oh no, I don't have the name for who it's for. And then Tom Hanks just like snatches it out and like kicks him out of the locker room, and then does a very, very dramatic delivery of whose like husband it is, and totally makes it seem like he's like, is it like Gina Davis's or is this other girl? I'm like, Tom, don't do this.
Yeah.
Just
fucking say it.
Or pull her out of the room.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Do something different than what you're doing.
Totally.
Because it's horrible.
It's fucking awful. Torturous.
Mm-hmm. I can't read my handwriting for this one.
Do you want me to try?
Oh, this is when Gina Davis first thinks about quitting. Because she's like very shook by this whole experience. And she's like, I just have to go back to I have to stop doing this. And Tom's like Tom Hanks the only one who like tries to stop her, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. She tries to quit because her husband comes back, right?
Yeah, so I was confused because I wasn't sure if there was a moment where she quit because she was unsure. But yeah, so she goes home after this whole experience and she's like crying in bed because she's like, it was so close. Like it could have been her. And so she's like really upset, and then she looks up and her husband's standing there and he's back from the war, and so she's so excited and relieved. And so then the next day she's like packing and Tom Hanks is like, what are you doing? And she's like, like she wasn't even gonna tell him, she was just gonna go back home. And
all the other women, like, because they're also so culturally brainwashed, which is understandable, they're just like, oh yeah, your husband's back, you have to go home.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is the only one who's like, oh, you don't? Does he know how good you are? Like, you love doing this. Like, don't leave.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to go. Sorry, bye.
I know. It's very sweet that Tom is so supportive. I'm still, like, so shook by the fact that they never brought up him drinking again.
Right?
Like, I'm just like,
weird.
Why don't they ever explain that?
Saved by the power of femininity, I guess.
Honestly.
I guess.
The more feminist he became, the less he drank. The more healthy he became, more cool.
But fear not, listener, because Gina Davis comes back in, like, what? 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
She's really not gone for very long.
She's gonzo, and then she comes right back, and her husband's like, super supportive.
I'm a catcher again. And Tom Hanks is like, yay.
Yeah. And her husband is just like, that's my wife. Like, so cute.
And then this is where we get the sister showdown.
Yeah.
Where the sisters have a little bit of a blowout because Gina Davis thinks that Kit needs to take a break from pitching, and Kit's like, no, I need to close out this game, I'm fine. But then Gina Davis is basically like, you're out of there. And so Kit's fucking pissed.
Yep. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and they're fighting. And then Gina Davis asks to be traded to another team because her sister's like, I'm always going to be in your shadow if you're on this team.
So Gina's like, fine, I will take one for the team and I will bounce so that you can have your spotlight because I'm not fucking fighting with you anymore. But then
Tom Hanks pulls a fast one and he trades Kit to the other team and not Gina Davis. And so Kit's fucking pissed. And she does something that Gina Davis does earlier, which I think is like the baseball power move, and that's catching a baseball with your hand instead of the mitt. And it's like anytime they want to show these women being extra powerful, they fucking catch a baseball with their goddamn bare hands.
Which, gotta admit, fucking fire.
Yeah, I can do it. I'd be like, ow.
At one point in my life, I would love to do that.
I can't even like catch a football with my bare hands without being like, ow.
I can't remember the last time I caught a football at all in general, but yeah, I feel like a baseball would hurt more because it would. Smaller.
That's what I'm saying. If I can't even handle a football, baseball's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
Or like volleyball, when you smack it with your forearms. I don't like that shit.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't played volleyball for a minute either. Badminton is more my sweet. Tennis, badminton.
Where you don't have to make direct contact with anything.
Yep.
We love it.
We love to see it.
So she does that power move. She kind of freaks out, but then she accepts it. She goes to the other team, and she actually ends up flourishing. And then as fate would have it, of course, at the World Series, their teams play against each other. Dun, 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 dun. And who do you know wins? The kid sister Kit.
Hell yeah. And you know why?
Why?
Because she hits one of the high pitches, which has been a theme throughout the movie, where she always goes for the high pitches, like, to hit them, and she can never get them because you're supposed to just, like, I don't know what the lingo is, but you're supposed to just, like, basically chill as it gets thrown, and you're not supposed to try to hit it when it's too high or whatever. And it was always, like, a warning that Gina Davis gave her. She was always like, stop it with the high pitches or whatever the fuck. And she won because she hit a high pitch.
And it really is one of those, like, if you love them, you have to let them fly. And it's true. Once Gina Davis, like, gave her some room and let her do her own thing, she flourished.
Totally.
So it's like, in her effort to try to help her, she was smothering her.
Absolutely. Which
so it ended up being great they got their own space.
Absolutely. And yeah, so the end of the movie, Kit is kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of stay in this town. I think I really like it. And I'm going to maybe just get, like, a regular job and keep playing baseball, you know, in the on season. And Gina Davis is like, okay, well, I'm going to go home because me and my bae want to have kids. And see you later.
See you later, loser. No,
yeah,
just kidding.
But they do have a beautiful moment. It's very, very
it's
sweet.
a very cute goodbye.
Yeah.
I also did, right, for the World Series game. This baseball scene's a bit long, to be honest.
Way too long.
I was like, all right, we're not actually that interested.
It was like a half an hour long.
It was I was like, we're still playing baseball.
I know. I'm like, look, I understand that this is for baseball lovers, but this is also for lovers of, like, not that exactly like you and I. So.
And also in that goodbye scene, I noted that there's the tiniest drinking fountain known to man in the background.
I didn't see that.
It is like, I don't even know, the size of, like, a fucking CD case.
What?
And so small. And I was like, why would they make drinking fountains so tiny?
Is that how tiny they were back in the day?
I don't know, but I just
they
thought
probably
that was
were.
interesting. It was 1942, right?
Yeah.
Maybe porcelain wasn't as plentiful.
So the fact that they even have water fountains is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, a little tiny baby one.
That's wild.
I was like, that's a tiny, tiny.
I need to go back and take a look.
I mean, it's not that cool.
What is it? Build for ants? No, I do want to look it up.
Basically.
I think it would be cool. I love tiny things.
And then you get this, like, very cutie little flash forward. So you're back in the present time. Gina Davis has arrived at the field, and it's a little reunion for all the peaches.
Yeah.
And then they go to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and they're like have a whole exhibit about women in baseball dedicated to them.
Isn't it like a 50th anniversary or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they have, like, their pictures up on the wall, and it's a whole museum exhibit, and everyone's families are there. And the people they got to play the older version of these women are, like, exactly like them.
Casting was fuego.
Seriously, I was like, they look exactly alike.
I could not believe how good, like, the Rosie O'Donnell and specifically Madonna's character.
I felt like
shit.
Madonna and Kit, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, Kit was, like, way too spot on, like, scary. And then the one we mentioned who played Gina Davis, or Dottie, she was, I mean, unbelievable. She looked just like her. And it's just, like, a really sweet scene because you could tell Dottie was very nervous about going, and she was just like, no one will remember me, because she only played for the first year. And when she got there, everyone was like, oh my gosh, you're good luck. Like, everyone absolutely remembered her, and she had a huge impact on all of these ladies. And, like, you know, I'm sure she was a big reason why they believed in themselves.
Absolutely. She was like their little mother hen until Tom Hanks got his act together.
Yeah.
I did also write, this song kind of sucks. I'm sorry.
That was the song that they're singing? Oh, yeah.
They, like, closed it out by singing this, like, I don't know who wrote this song, but it's like a weird, like, death march. It's like, we love baseball. And I'm like, what? Get out of here.
Jesus is coming.
And it's so
soon.
long, and I'm just like, stop singing this song.
Well, it's that blonde lady.
Some blonde lady.
With the fucking kid. She's the one that wrote it.
With her demon spawn.
With her demon child who shows up in the movie. And it's like, I know you're supposed to be cute, but, like, your bow tie is throwing
it's
shit off.
Not cute.
No, you're, like, not that
Looking kind of dumb.
With the finger and a thumb, idiot. Throwing it back to fucking Shrek. Yeah, no, but it was a really cute movie.
And Shea thinks that they had footage of the actual OG female baseball players during the credits, and I think so, because it's certainly not the same actors in the ending scene.
Yeah, I know that they did have a reunion as well, so that it must have been that. Which is so sweet. I can't handle it.
Such a good movie, such a strong female presence message. Hella passes the Bechdel test. Our first film to do so.
That's something else that we should mention during corporate bullshit.
Oh, good idea. Well, I will make this a permanent segment moving forward.
Yep, because I think it is important to highlight, especially during the 90s and 2000s, because guaranteed the majority of what we will be talking about probably will not pass, I imagine.
Probably not.
4 out of the 5 have not.
Yes.
So, but we'll see. We'll take a look at that. We'll bring that up in every episode, and we'll see. We'll take a percentage maybe at the end of the year. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, are you ready for your trivia questions? I think I got some good ones.
Oh, I am ready, baby.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I might not do well again. This is my second time watching it, so I haven't obsessively started.
Okay, well, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see how you do with the first one. What are the sisters doing when they first meet the sports agent?
Milking cows.
Nailed it. Number 2. Why does the Peaches driver quit?
He quits because the kid was being fucking annoying.
What was he doing exactly, though? What was the final straw?
Wasn't he, like, putting his hands over his eyes or some shit?
Yes, he
Okay,
was.
okay.
Nailed it.
Got it.
What is Marla singing at the bar?
It had to be you.
Yes, you're nailing it.
Thank you.
Number 4. How do the ladies guard against evil spirits while driving past the graveyard?
They crossed their fingies.
Nailing it.
Thank you.
Doing great.
I'm surprised.
Number 5. Why does Dottie try to leave the league? We kind of talked about it.
Yeah, so she tried to leave because her husband came back.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And
Question mark?
what does Tom Hanks write on the kid's baseball? This is the hardest one, but the answer is hilarious.
I don't know, but I know that he like had an evil maniacal laugh as the kid. I have no idea what he wrote.
So
though.
Tom Hanks signed the baseball, and the kid looks at it and goes, "Avoid the clap. Thanks."
Oh my god.
And then Gina Davis like gives him a look, and he's like, "What? It's good advice."
That's fucking amazing.
Yes. That's the only one you missed.
Oh wow. Thank you. I was expecting them to be. I think you just know exactly which question, like which parts of the movie that I'm going to cling to.
Because I gravitate towards them. I thought I was only going to have 5, but that clap question was just too good.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I did not pay attention to that part, but that's very funny. Okay, and I think we have a cool quiz coming up.
Oh, yeah, we've done our due diligence and made sure this one is a respectable length. It is from Quiz Lady. It's which league of their own character are you? And it's 10 questions. I'll let Shea be the first to do it this week.
So, there's an ad. Let's exit out of that real quick. Cool.
Not a great start, Quiz Girl.
Question number 1. Are you open to change?
Oh, wow.
Nope.
This quiz is on our wavelength.
Nope. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sure, change can be good. I'm open to whatever gets me where I need to be, or I'll try anything once.
I'll try anything once.
I'll try anything twice. Okay, question number 2. How tall are you? I'm taller than average. I'm average. I'm on the short side, or it depends on my shoes.
I'd say I'm on the short side.
Yeah, you and I both. We're like
Short queens.
right under average, I would say. Maybe like an inch under or so. Question 3. Which position would you want to play in baseball? They don't have the one that you usually
Shortstop?
go. They have catcher, third baseman, LOL, pitcher, first base, or coach.
Oh, man. Third base sounds good.
Third base. Mint, for some reason. Question 4. How clean is your uniform? Squeaky clean? It's pretty dirty. When was the last time I washed it? Or it's okay right now.
Okay. I feel like 3 answers are dirty. So I'm going to go with clean.
Squeaky.
Clean.
Perfect. Pick a fruit. And you can't pick me. Cherries, apples, oranges, bananas, or pineapple.
Wait, read them again?
Cherries, apples, oranges, bananas, or pineapple.
I'm going to go cherries.
I love cherries too. How would your friends describe you?
You tell me.
Sassy, shy, driven, loyal, or haunted?
Haunted?
That's me.
Driven.
I'm gonna go with, yeah, you want to go with driven?
What were you going to say?
Loyal.
Oh. I'm both loyal. I'm driven to loyalty.
Exactly. So let's do driven, 'cause that was your first one. Or do you want to go with my
No,
answer?
driven's good.
Okay, driven. Next question. You are also driven. Question 7 out of 10. When an argument gets really heated, you almost always throw punches, raise my voice, walk away, start hurling insults, or mediate.
Depends on who it is. But it's either hurling insults or mediate.
It really is between those two. It really is.
Do I like you or do I think you're a fucking idiot? Let's go with hurling insults.
Hurling insults. Love it.
Those are for the dum-dums.
Exactly. Oh, and Stacy throws like the best shade because I think it confuses the people that she's throwing insults at because they're just like, what does this mean? And she's like, heh. Question 8 out of 10. How do you feel about men? They're overrated.
Overrated.
They're great. They're okay sometimes, or they're fun to mess with.
I like they're okay sometimes.
Yeah, I think that is very accurate. Question 9. My fashion style can be described as sporty.
Crocs? Oh.
Sporty, practical, comfy, flirty, eccentric.
Okay. Out of all those words, I feel like eccentric is the closest because I like wearing weird clothes.
I agree with that. I think it's eccentric for sure. And the last question is...
I'm literally wearing a big baby scumbag shirt that's edited to look like Tom Brady
and if she had her way,
a
she'd be wearing
SoundCloud
Crocs.
rapper.
Yes, it's fucking amazing.
Pretty eccentric.
Who's the last person you talked to on the phone? My spouse, my best friend, my kid, my parents, or my boyfriend/girlfriend?
My fiance, so the middle of boyfriend/spouse.
Spouse?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Result.
Oh my god.
You are Dottie.
Oh my god.
It says, you're
I'm
mostly
not
Dottie
worthy.
Hinson. You're the best of the best, and part of you knows that well. You're strong,
Whoa.
resilient, talented, and drop-dead gorgeous.
This is the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life.
You're a loyal friend, a faithful partner, and a fearless leader. Others always look up to you and seek inspiration, the choices you make each day. That is so true.
Whoa.
All of that is so fucking true.
I am flattered.
Beyond
like a
belief.
motherfucker. Okay.
I cannot wait to take... I have
Back
no
that
idea who
thing
I'm
up.
going to get.
Okay. All right, quiz lady, let's do this.
Sorry. That was very loud. I apologize.
Start the quiz. Okay. Are you open to change? Nope, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sure, change can be good. I'm open to whatever gets me where I need to be. I'll try anything once.
I'll try anything once,
Hell yeah.
but in parentheses twice.
Twice. How tall are you? Short side?
Yep. I'm a shawty.
Oh no, I clicked an ad. Oh no. Oh god, I have to start over.
Even though I'm not your man, I'm a girl. I'ma call you mine, shawty.
Next question. Okay. The ad next looks a lot like the actual next.
Oh, I
I'm on
know.
to you.
I know, they always fuck with me too.
I'm on to you. What happened?
Sorry, I just
No,
keep
that's
making
okay.
so much noise. I kicked this by accident.
Oh
whatever it is I-
no. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, question 3. What position would you want to play in baseball? Catcher, third baseman, LOL. Pitcher, first base, or coach?
Probably catcher.
Hell yeah. You know why? Great Hambino.
Exactly. I just feel like it makes sense because I'm not like... I can run fast for a short period of time, but I'm not like a super runner and like I don't really know the other... I feel like I'd be a good catcher.
Yeah, you would.
Thank you.
How clean is your uniform? Squeaky clean? It's pretty dirty. When was the last time I washed it? It's okay right now.
It'd probably be, it's okay right now.
It's okay right now.
Most likely.
Okay. Pick a fruit. Cherries, apples, oranges, bananas, pineapple.
I think I'm going to go with cherries as well.
Yeah. Okay. How would your friends describe you? Sassy, shy, driven, loyal, haunted.
I love the haunted one, but I think I'll go with loyal. I think that's how most friends would describe me.
You loyal to the soil.
Thank you.
When an argument gets really heated, you almost always throw punches, raise my voice, walk away, start hurling insults, mediate.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who it's with.
Right? I know.
Because I do mediate a lot of fights between other people, but if it was, like you said, if it was like a fucking idiot, I mean, I usually threaten.
Threaten with bodily harm?
Well, like, I'm thinking of, like, I don't know, like the Florida guy. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
So I think throw punches.
Yeah, probably.
You grabbed that man's face, which is great.
That's true. Well, he was about to fuck with my wife, and I would murder. Anyway.
Hell yeah. Question 8. This is a great question for that. How do you feel about men? They're overrated, they're great, they're okay sometimes, or they're fun to mess with?
I'm stressed about this question because lately I've been, like, really annoyed by men. You know, most men, specifically cis men. I guess I'll say they're fun to mess with. Because that could mean a lot of different things.
Exactly.
And all of those
right.
are, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, I'd probably say that's the most me.
Double entendre. My fashion style can be described as sporty, practical, comfy, flirty, eccentric.
I'm between flirty and comfy, but I think overall it'd be comfy.
Comfy.
Comfy-ger.
Mm-hmm. 'Tis important.
Truly 'tis.
Last but certainly not least, who's the last person you talked to on the phone? My spouse? My spouse.
My smash.
Oh, how silly is that? My spouse, my best friend, my kid, my parents, my boyfriend/girlfriend.
My best friend. Jordan. Joji.
Friend. Okay. Results. Calculating your score. You got Dottie.
Oh, I got Dottie.
We're both fucking Dottie.
I don't think I'm Dottie, bro.
You are Dottie.
Says
it right here. Black and white.
I don't know what I could have.
Dottie-ass queen.
I don't know what I chose to be Dottie.
We're both short and like cherries.
You know what?
That was the
if I had it my way, I'd be either Rosie O'Donnell or
yeah.
Madonna. Whatever their names are.
Yeah. Should I try one more, which is all random, and see if it's Dottie?
Yeah, because
then we'll know the jig is up.
I do think your answers make sense for that result. Mm-hmm. But for me, I feel like she wouldn't like throw punches, and she wouldn't be like, I'd mess around with.
That's true. Maybe it's just cherries. Okay, the results are in.
Yes.
I did get a different answer with
you
all
did?
random answers, but guess what it was?
What?
Fucking Madonna's character.
Oh my god.
It says, you're most like May Mortabito. You're a frisky spitfire who always knows the right thing to say. You're a great friend and the type of person others always want around because it guarantees a good time will be had. While you'll settle down one day, you're not quite ready to let go of your wild days just yet. I'm going to take this as a sign that I channeled your Madonna wanting energy.
Thank you, because I do think I'm a combo platter of her and her loving sexual partner, Rosie O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Okay, we all know it.
And their friendship seems so genuine. Like, I wonder if they felt like they were friends at the end, if they kept up the friendship or anything after filming.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
I feel like they both, like, not that they have the same energy, but I feel like they would vibe off each other based on, like, because I used to watch the Rosie O'Donnell show all the time. Mm-hmm. If you remember, she had a talk show. Oh, yeah. And I've also seen a lot of interviews of Madonna. I just feel like they would vibe together, you know? They'd get it. Aren't they both New York queens? Like, I
think so.
So.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, we did it. Another one in the books. Whee! High five.
High five, my queen. Well, that was a really fun one, and what I really took from it was, again, female friendships. The importance of holding it down for one another and believing in each other and believing in ourselves.
And showing you, if you're the asshole who's like, I don't like change and I want to stop people from being themselves and, like, I'm going to enforce gender hegemony, just don't.
Yeah, like, what's it to you, Pally?
Yeah. Let people live their lives.
Like, you do whatever the fuck you want and let other people do whatever the fuck they want and just be in your bubble. We'll be in our brother. What? We'll be in our bubble. So fuck off.
And the world's not going to end. It's not like fucking Mount Vesuvius is going to erupt or anything. Like, it'll be fine.
No, it'll be all right. Just take her on easy.
Mm-hmm.
We're already living it, and it's great over here.
We are loving it.
So you're gonna be all right.
We believe in you.
We do believe in you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
All.
We really love you. As always, if you have any questions, anything at all, feel free to add us on Instagram. It's at Blockbuster.
Wait, oh my God, we forgot to do the question.
What question?
The
the question. Haha.
Haha, see, you thought we were going to forget.
But we did not.
Not today.
And by we, I mean Stacy did not forget.
I was
Okay.
like, no.
This question is from our dear friend Whitney.
Hell
Sweet,
yeah.
sweet Whitney. Hi, Whitney. We love you. And it has nothing to do with this movie. But she asked, kill, marry, frick, Austin Powers, Mini-Me, or Dr. Evil?
Ooh, a good one. Okay. Austin Powers, Mini-Me, Dr. Evil. Well, I think I have to marry Austin, fuck Dr. Evil, frick Dr. Evil, and kill Mini-Me. I'm sorry.
You know, I have the same exact answer.
Hell yeah.
But I will say, I think they're all hot. Like, what's his name? Vern? Isn't that Mini-Me's?
R.I.P., right? Didn't he pass away?
R.I.P. He was sexy. And he had swag. And
Major swag.
he just seemed like a really fucking cool dude. Dr. Evil, there's just that scene where he's like, wah, 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 wah. When he drinks the mojo juice as well. He, like, looks like he can fuck.
And you're like, hey, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to frick.
But frick. But Austin Powers obviously is the fucking goat, and I'm in love with him, so...
You treated Mrs. Kensington so well.
Kensington before she turned into a femme, but
Again, spoiler alert.
We warned you guys at the beginning. This is like spoiler alert city.
I keep meaning to put that in the description. We should.
We definitely should, yeah. So many spoilers. But you know what? You guys knew what you were signing up for. We're talking about movies from like 30 years ago. Sorry. But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, if you need to email us, blockbusterwives@gmail.com. Instagram is the same, blockbusterwives. We're not on Twitter. We'll probably never be on Twitter.
Nope.
Sorry.
Refuse, to be honest.
Not our bag, baby.
No, not our bag, baby. But I'm glad for this friendship.
Yes. And we hope you have a blessed week.
We know that you will. We love you so much. Stay safe. Believe in yourself. Talk to you next week, you guys.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.